Why, if the only moment of now exists, do I need to find the places where fear has found a home in my heart? Why can't I just be Christ incarnate from this moment forward? And why do I have to go back and find the places where I'm still incomplete or upset? And the reason is this: the only way to be Christ incarnate is to be fearless. Fearless and neutral and accepting of everything that you see. And unfortunately, you can't do that if you still hold on to fears and hurts and resentments and guilt, because they are all born of fear. And so the process of living as the Christ requires a willingness to look at the places where you've mistakenly harbored fear and guilt and separation and judgment. Not so that you can torture yourself, but so that you can examine what you've done from a neutral, loving, compassionate place and forgive yourself and forgive everyone else. When this one was very young, he loved to ride his bicycle in the summer. And when he was learning to ride the bicycle and doing tricks and setting up jumps over trash cans and stuff, he would often fall. And when he would fall, he would have to go inside and tell his parents, and they would clean out the wound and put mercurochrome on it, which stung, and then put a Band-Aid on it. His knees and his shins were always cut up. One day he took a very bad spill in a parking lot. And he thought, uh-oh, now I'm going to have to go through a lot of pain to get this cleaned up. So instead of going to his parents, he snuck into the bathroom, got out a box of Band-Aids and put Band-Aids all over the wound without cleaning it up. I think he was about 7 at the time. His parents noticed the Band-Aid and he said, "Oh yeah, I fell, but I cleaned it up myself. It's okay." They said, "Okay." Well, weeks later, he could not bend his knee. His knee had become so infected, he couldn't bend it. And during those weeks, he felt very separate from his parents because he knew he had a secret and he couldn't tell them. And his knee hurt very badly. He finally had to confess what he had done. And they took the Band-Aid off, and it was a mess. His knee was infected, and there were still all kinds of pebbles and sand, everything in the wound, making it almost impossible to heal. And it was very painful. They had to clean out all the pebbles and then put the mercurochrome on, and it all worked out. But putting a Band-Aid over something that hasn't been cleaned out doesn't quite do it. And that's the same is true with emotional hurts. You can't just whistle a happy tune. You can't just act like this stuff didn't happen and then go on and be the Christ. The trick is not to let yourself judge your own judgments, but to be neutral and compassionate and curious about how you have misconstrued reality, and then choose again from a very neutral place, from a loving place, from an understanding place, so that the wound can heal, and so that you can recognize that that was just a choice you made, and you can choose again. And there's a tremendous cost to be paid for holding on to and covering up and hiding from places where you've let fear reside. Allow the Holy Spirit to clean these things out. It won't be as painful as it is not to. That's what's in the way. And it can all be done with love and compassion and curiosity and humor. What a silly interpretation I made. I think I'll reinterpret what I've done. There's an old expression, there is no such thing as failure. There is only feedback. That's quite true. You do something, you get some feedback. You do something else, you get some more feedback. When you look at your choices with that kind of neutrality, that it's just feedback, as your singer Alanis Morissette once wrote, you live, you learn. That's how it works. You live, you learn. But you need not feel bad about it. Just allow the places where you've let fear have a home be examined and released in the most neutral way, so you can get different feedback as you do that and live as you are. That's the question. Forgive yourself for the choices you made, and forgive others for the choices they made. It will always come down to this. They and you were mistakenly doing what seemed like a good idea at the time. That's all. And now you know better. And you can choose again. And choose for love. Let the Holy Spirit choose for God, for love, for you. I love you, and I welcome you back to yourself. I will speak with you again.